If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, try Pop Chevrolet. Pop Chevrolet will get you the best price guaranteed. Visit popchevy.com. That's P-O-P-S Chevy.com. This episode is brought to you by Wild Bill's Fireworks. At Wild Bill's, they will help you start and maintain a successful fireworks business. Whether you're starting a retail store, a seasonal tent, or a part-time venture, Wild Bill's is your one-stop wholesale fireworks supplier. Their team can help you pick inventory. They offer business training, ongoing support to make sure you stay profitable no matter the size of your business. Call or text for more information. Just ask for Bill at 606-367-5569. That's 606-367-5569. Or visit wildbillsfireworks.com and make sure you ask about their financing plan. Welcome back to the show. We hope you're enjoying our series. Today we have Russ Savinson, Harold Shedd, Wade Smith, and special guest Curly Corwin. Let's get to it. This is Behind the Shed.
Tell them where we are, Harold.
Well, we're in one of my favorite places that I've ever been, with a bunch of my favorite people that I've ever known. And one of the main event today is going to be our friend from a long time back, Mr. Curly Corwin.
Yeah, man.
And he and I go way back. And Wade asked me yesterday how we met and where we met. And at my age, I forget things. So I says, well, you'll have to ask Curly. So with that, I'm going to let him.
Well, I imagine it was with my partner, Nelson Larkin, who was co-produced many albums with you.
Yes.
He done 3 on the first 3 that Toby did.
Yes.
Toby Keith.
Yes.
And Nelson Larkin was my partner in Master Mix.
Yeah.
And we built Master Mix. We opened up in '82.
Yeah.
One of the biggest mastering labs in Nashville. Go ahead.
Yeah, and best.
Yeah.
And the best.
Yeah.
Well, Hank Williams, not the Hank Williams, another Hank Williams, run the studio, and I ended up giving Hank 25% of that, 5% a year for 5 years.
Oh, wow. That's
for running. He took care of it when I come back to Oklahoma, and I was in the oil business.
Yeah.
And all the time, and that's where I made my money to buy the studios.
Gotcha. That's not the only studio.
You got to have a job to be in the music business.
Yeah.
But Curly, when we first met, your partner Nelson and I and our families moved to Nashville the same day, the same week, and lived in the same apartment, Iroquois, out in West Nashville. And we lived there because Scotty Turner lived there.
Wow.
And he had brought us to town.
Another legend, by the way.
Yes. Nellie was a great one. Yeah.
Well, he and Scotty both.
That's when I guess we first met.
Yeah, probably was. I can't remember. I'm like you. But what do they say about a man that, like Harold Shedd, everything's been said about him that could be. And I promised him I would not tell all I knew.
But he knows a lot. He did. He honored me by writing a song about me.
I know that song.
We walked in to the Longhorn, and Harold and I decided to have a drink after work.
No way.
And I can't remember the date, but it was probably in the middle 90s or 91 or 2 or 4 or something. But we walked in to the Longhorn, and at that time, if you know the Longhorn, all the hangers on and Scotty Turner's, and then everybody was hanging around the front door. Well, I'm a nobody, so I get through them all and go back and sit down at the bar, and I order him a drink and me a drink. And I drank mine, and them hangers-on was sticking tapes in his pocket and singing him songs and all kind of stuff. And I wrote this song, Nashville, full of wannabes and gonna-bees, full of never-bees and honeybees, coulda-beens and shoulda-beens and Mercedes-Benz, and old buses that don't run that bees live in. And I thought about that, sitting back there watching all them hangers-on up there at the front door, sticking tapes in his pocket. And finally, after about 10 minutes or 15, I'd say, Harold, you're wanted on the phone. And I got him out of there and back there and had a drink.
That's funny.
That was the early days.
Yeah, we need to share that lyric sheet at the end of this thing. I read that lyric today. My God, that's so funny. So cool. And so true. So true. Oh.
What's the line about smiling on the faces?
Well, the so-called producers that promise the moon and a trip to them star-studded places. But when they walk in with money in hand, he's smiling on one of his faces.
That's so funny. Oh, man, so true.
Well, that's an inside song.
Yeah.
It'll never get cut or published.
No, but
by
it's a great
anybody.
description of that Nashville.
It's
a great description.
It's that moment in time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you, at that time, if you drive down the alley of 16th or 17th, and there was 4 or 5 buses and cars and you go through there at night, there was lights in there. Yeah. There was people living in there.
That's right.
Yep.
Songwriters.
Yep.
And
that's true.
And in fact, Virginia, that run the murder mark.
Yep.
Her brother got killed. He got murdered in a bus right there.
I didn't know
he used to sit there at night, and he slept there and guarded that quick shop.
I didn't know that. Wow.
It was at the corner of 17th and Division.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's right.
Yep.
That does set on that corner.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I believe I said
I do now.
It was
near my studio.
Yeah, well, it was right across the street from Master Mix, the first Master Mix.
Yes,
the old Union Hall.
Yep.
That I bought off of Glenn Sutton.
Another legend. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Glenn Sutton wrote
Rose Garden.
He wrote no.
I know this.
Someone else wrote. His wife sang Rose Garden.
Yeah.
His wife sang it, but that guy in Atlanta wrote that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What was Glenn's biggest?
I can't think of his name.
I can't either, but yeah. What was the Glenn Sutton song though? I can't remember that. The big one. He had a bunch, but
and he killed Roy Acuff, one of them on Jerry Lee Lewis.
What made Milwaukee
famous made a big fool out of me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What made Milwaukee famous made a big fool out of me.
Yep, I forgot that one.
And
right.
Eddie is here today, and he's going to be on later.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know he produced that record.
Yes,
he did.
There you go. Wow. Yeah. Another legend.
Another legend. He sure is.
So cool. Wow.
And Curly and I became really good friends, and probably out of the last 20 years we were in business, he and another good friend of ours that managed Lee Greenwood, and we would spend along with Fred Cortez, we would spend almost every New Year's in Destin, Florida. And we would hang out and rent a place for 3 or 4 days. And
Well, he had a condo down there first. We stayed at your condo.
that's right. We did.
And then Hank Williams, my Hank Williams, not the Hank Williams, him and his wife had a condo down there in
in the same
same
building.
building.
That's correct.
And Hank, when I'd go down there to visit Harold, I'd go get downstairs and visit Hank and Nancy.
Wow.
And Hank told me he sold that condo in a week. And I told Harold, and he went over there and seen that realtor and sold his in a week.
Yes, that's right.
Wow. Well, I guess we're not going down to
No,
Destin this
it's
time.
over.
Well, we rented the house. Well, I was telling them,
And Johnny Lee went
Johnny
with it.
Lee,
Too bad.
he's been on the cruises with us. Coach will be on here later, but we went 6 years and Johnny was on them cruises, but the last 2 years he was riding his electric scooter, and so was I,
Wow. Wow.
because I can
But still mobile.
Yeah. Yep.
it's still getting around.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so what made you go to Nashville?
Oh, I've been in the music business all my life.
Okay.
I started out playing with my dad when I was 11 years old, ragtime, and he played the fiddle, and he was an old fiddler, played for square dances.
Wow.
DNA, 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 ragtime Annie. Me and my sister used to trade off playing the guitar. It was a harmony or a Stella or something.
Yeah. I remember those.
But the strings was so high off of the neck, your fingers would start bleeding.
Yep. I know that story.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know you grew up playing music like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then you started writing songs.
Yeah, I did.
You wrote a lot with Whitey Schaefer,
Yeah.
Oh, man. Another legend.
another legend.
Wow.
Yeah, White Man and I wrote a song called Hog Heaven.
Okay, yeah.
Hog Heaven. That's what he said. I called him up one time and I said, how you doing, White Man? He said, I'm living in hog heaven. And I said, oh, let's write that. And he said, I went up there at the baker's market and stopped and got a case of Budweiser, and we wrote a song.
That's so cool. Wow. That's cool.
Well, it's good that you were in the oil business and were able to generate enough income to be in the music business.
Yeah. You either needed to have the money or have a partner
That's
that
right.
had the money.
That's right. Yes, I love partners.
Yep.
We had, Russ, he worked with me for years and years and years, and we had a great partner.
Yeah. Yeah, good guy. Donnie Canada. Yep.
Donnie Canada
Yep.
from Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember you going up there and
Yeah.
taking him money.
Yeah.
And he,
Well, we did. We were able to pay him back.
Larry
Shell?
Shell worked for you.
Yes.
We
Love
seen
Larry.
him down. He lives in Nashville, Florida.
Yes,
He
sir.
come over to your condo one time.
That's
and
right.
When me and Larry and you was sitting there,
That's right.
and Larry Shell come over there, and I sing him that song. You're
Yeah.
the record man.
That's the one to me. I
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah.
Nashville seems to be a good tax write-off for energy companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh my God. How long was Master Mix in business?
33 years.
Wow, I knew it was a long time. It was Hank from the very beginning.
Hank, well, no, we started out, it was another kid that I run off.
Now we're getting into the juicy part.
Yeah, he was knocking down on the equipment. He'd buy a console and he'd get $12,000 and charge me $228
Gotcha.
or something.
Yeah. There's another piece of Nashville that's real. That's real.
And I run him off.
I got you. I understand.
When I found out about that, I said, I hired you. I'm paying you. How much do I owe you?
Yep.
And I paid him.
Yep.
And I said, he said, well, how come you're running me off? And I said, you just made $12,000 off of me.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I said, that ain't going to work.
You know what's funny? I'm reminded of a Mel Tillis phrase that you told me one time. We were having an issue with an employee. Mel Tillis said, you know when you should fire somebody? The first time you think of it. I never forgot. That's exactly that. Yes.
Yeah.
Time to go. Yep.
Yeah.
I get it. So you had Master Mix, but you also had one of the most legendary studios in town, Sound Emporium, too.
Yeah.
That's still there today and still going.
Well,
One of the few.
well, I had problems in the oil business, and I gave my part to Roy Clark. I signed it over because I didn't want it involved in a bankruptcy.
Sure.
And I was partners with Roy Clark in there
Wow.
and Jim Abercrombie,
Wow.
who was partners with me and Nelson in Master Mix.
Wow.
Okay.
And Jim was in the oil business with me. He come from Enid, Oklahoma, and I did too. He sold out for $4.5 million, and he flew to Dallas to close the deal. And when he got home, there wasn't anything in his house. His wife had ripped the carpets out and took all the furniture and took everything, left his clothes in one closet.
I think she's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
She ripped the carpets out.
Gone,
Wow.
gone, gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying the show. This episode is sponsored by PopChevy.com, Paintsville Tourism, Wild Bill Fireworks, the Kent Rose Foundation.
What do you say about Harold Shedd? This deal's about Harold Shedd. One time, I remember, was you there when we went out on the Crab Island and the 4th of July?
Yes, yes.
And I sat on the back of the boat and played my guitar, and I just cut that album.
Yes.
And I played all them songs, and somebody had some smoking dope on there. And boat people come up there and got us.
Yes.
And the
Well,
shore patrol.
actually, it was the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the FBI.
But they were on a boat.
And
They were boat people.
some girl that I didn't even know stuck that bag under my butt. I was sitting on a boat, and I didn't even smoke. But do you think I wouldn't get up? I didn't. I talked to them boys. I told them,
Yeah.
I said,
You know, I'm
no,
surprised you didn't write a song about Crab Island.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Johnny Gore
Johnny
was with
Gore,
us.
that's
He was
right.
Mel Tillis's saxophone player.
Wow.
And
Johnny was there.
Johnny
Yes.
and Mona, that girl from Springfield. He was living with Larry Mack
And
in
Branson.
Branson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
that's correct.
Wow. That's crazy. FBI.
So
Yeah.
what, did you just talk your way out of it, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
That's
The
funny.
bag was under me.
Couldn't find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never could come up with anything.
I said, no, it ain't. I stood up, and then she sat down, and She stuffed that right under my ass.
Oh my God, that's funny.
In that crack in them boat cushions, you know. She stuffed it there.
That's funny. Oh wow, that's funny. So I was telling you the other day that one of my oldest friends, best friends that Harold and I worked with, I mentioned that I was coming out here. He goes, "Oh, I love Curly. We used to hang out in Mexico." Don Von Tress. They wrote "Achy Breaky Heart." Yeah, and he was talking about you guys being out in Puerto Vallarta and all the time y'all spent out there and all that stuff. And it's so weird. I'd never met you till I met you once before, but
well, he told me he wrote "Achy Breaky Heart." He wrote the song to his little girl. He was babysitting with her, and he said, "Aching breaking heart." You called him up and said, "Can I change your word from aching breaking to achy breaky?"
Wow, now you are, boy,
You
Curly.
remember that?
I do now,
Yeah.
but I had forgotten that.
Yeah. He wrote the song "Aching Breaking Heart."
In fact, the Marcy Brothers,
did
I
it that
think
way. Yeah,
you
They
cut
did
it with that title.
They did it achy breaking. They split the difference. Yeah.
Achy breaking.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's the way they did it. Yeah.
Well, actually, you're talking about partners and all of that, generating money. And Russ ran the publishing company at that time. And he was actually the guy that got that song recorded by Don. In addition to a little less talk and a lot more action on Toby and Toby Keith. And those two songs were so
they were big songs.
that we didn't have to have another partner after that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there were other things too, not just
Well,
that.
that's right.
I was just a little piece of everything.
Yeah. Well, that was just two of the many number ones.
Bobby Braddock wrote that.
No.
He wrote one of
he
them.
wrote, "I Want to Talk About Me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about.
Yeah, he wrote
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, two of our
yeah.
writers wrote a little less
Jimmy
talk.
Stewart and Keith Hinton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I first met first night I met Toby.
I remember the unique thing about that was when you told Toby you wanted to play him a song you thought he might like, and this was, I think we had a number one party.
It was the
he had a concert.
It was Fanfare.
Fanfare.
And we were in the backyard over there, yeah. And I had just met him before I'd gotten back from over there.
And it was late, and I mean after midnight.
Yeah, it was late. It was like close to midnight.
So Russ says, when you want to listen to it, he says, how about right now? So
I thought he was kidding at
and
first.
this is 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yes, we went over to the music mill and hung out from about midnight to about 3 listening to songs.
And all that
Toby
happened
Keith's
after
one of the
hours.
greatest songwriters in history. And I wanted to hear a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? You don't hear about that so much. But anyway, another story. Yeah.
Well.
But anyway, Russ generated a lot of revenue for us.
Yeah.
To do our thing back then. We had number one records with George Strait and Restless Heart and Colin Ray.
Martina, Michelle Wright, and a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
Refried Dreams. And
and Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
We had a good run, but we talk about that, but proximity has a lot to do with it. I mean, I was hanging at the number one place in town at the time. All I had to do was watch him walk in the lobby and say, come with me for a second, So anyway, it was a good time. It was a really good time.
It was a good time.
You was running Polydor, and Nelson done the studio work on the first 3 albums.
He did all the hard work.
And he cut Should Have Been a Cowboy, and when he finished that first album, he said, "What do we do now?" Toby said, and Nelson told him, "Well, we're going to take it down to Hank Williams and have it mastered."
Yes.
And Toby said, "I thought he was dead."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like we were talking about, if you think it can't get any better, get Ed C to mix it, Well, that's the final stage. If you want it better, you take it to Hank. He did the last procedure before it became a record.
Yep.
Denny Purcell was
the other guy.
One of the guys that come from Glen. Yeah, Hank Williams was the best that you could take it to. Denny died. He had Georgetown.
Yep, Georgetown.
And he died, and then Hank was number one in the Nashville. If
The mastering lab was the place.
Yeah.
You had to go through there.
Yeah, you have to go to the mastering lab for it done. It was always amazing to me, you know, when I actually went from demos and making records and going to master something. That was like, you know, after you're all done, you won the Super Bowl, you get to go to Disneyland. You know, it's like, oh my God, look at this. And it changes this much, but it's so much better. And they know how to get there with a microscope.
Yeah,
it was so
well,
cool.
that room Hank had, I built that room. We hired a guy out of Dallas or Fort Worth to design that studio, and them drivers for the speakers come from Sweden. It had 4 of the best speakers in town. They could hear. He had a set of ears that you don't have, and I don't have, and you don't have, and you don't have, but Hank Williams had them.
They listen to it differently. Yep, no doubt. They hear it differently. Boy, pretty amazing how they do that. That was always amazing to me. I remember I went over there one of those times to master, and he had just gotten a new amp or something over there. And I said, well, how much power do you have on these? And he told me, and I said, that's over 1 horsepower. You know, if you convert from power to, you know, you can do that. 792 watts, I think it is 1 horsepower or something. I can't remember anymore. It's like we could power your speakers by horsepower. That's amazing to me. It was just so cool. That was a cool thing.
Yes,
Golly.
it was.
And I guess those people still exist, like Hank and Denny and stuff. I guess they do. I don't know who they are.
We did surround sound on George Strait and Toby. We were the only people in town with a studio that had 5 speakers. And we did surround sound.
Yeah, I knew that. That's cool. That's way cool. Yeah, man, that was a fun time. Golly,
We had the one room set up back there, and it was surround sound room.
Yep, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Now, when did y'all close?
Don't get me to lie, and I think 14.
Wow, that was and you were there for how long? 30, did you say?
33 years. Wow. We was from 82. We started in 82, November of 82, and the first song we mastered was Steve Warner.
Wow.
Midnight Fire.
Oh yeah, I love that record.
Yeah.
Wow,
that was the first one we mastered.
Wow. That's way cool. God.
And 33 years from then is when I sold it.
Wow. Wow. You know, we've talked a lot on this podcast about people doing the music business, you know, and you know, if you're going to be a lawyer or whatever, you kind of have an idea what kind of money you're going to make when you get out of school or whatever. I don't think any of us ever had any idea about the music industry. And it's funny why you did that. You had the successful oil business, and you know why you would go to Nashville and do that. And the only thing I can come up with is because you love the music. You know,
it was in my heart.
Yep.
And it still is.
Well, I can tell from the songs, and you know, you talk about playing music when you were a kid with your dad, and Harold was the same way. He's got pictures of him and his sisters when they were kids playing music, you know. And I wasn't very good, but I was the same way. I just had to do it. And
I out there in that garage, I got an electric Martin. I've
only seen one in my whole life.
They only made 473 of them.
Wow. Well, I want to see that.
61, 62.
Wow.
And I showed you that mandolin I got. It's got a tuning, a fine fiddle tuning on the 8 strings.
Wow.
On the head of it.
Wow.
It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
You can actually tune it.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's way cool.
Yeah.
Jeez. You guys have known each other how long then did you decide? How long did you decide you guys have known each other?
Oh,
Well, since '82.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, and when I mentioned I was coming down here,
They
go ahead.
opened the Master Mix in the fall of '82,
Yeah.
and we opened the Music Mill, the real Music Mill,
Right. Makes sense.
in August of '82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
And that Nelson took me up there. And that's probably where I met you.
Probably.
Wow. How did you meet Nelson?
We met at George Lindsay's golf tournament in Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow. Wow.
George Lindsay, Goober,
Yep.
you know
Yep. I
Goober.
remember that. I remember them doing that golf tournament. Yeah.
George Lindsay had a golf tournament down there.
He was on Hee Haw at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Roy Clark and I were partners, and we went down there and met Nelson somewhere, played golf with him, or got drunk or something.
It's always interesting how people meet each other in this business. You
Yeah.
know, that's always the first question. Was how did you start this thing? You know, how did you get here?
Well,
You know, we all have those stories. You know.
me and Jim asked Nelson down there, what would you do if you was going to start a new studio in Nashville? And he said, oh, I don't know. And we met up there in his office in the Charlie Pride building on 16th Avenue.
Yeah.
We met there in his office and decided that we'd be partners.
Wow. Wow.
And me and Jim would put the money up and Nelson would manage it.
Wow. I didn't know
And
that.
He didn't manage anything. Nelson wasn't capable. I run everything.
I believe it. I wasn't going to say anything, but I didn't see him as that guy. That's funny.
Nelly was an idea man. He was a creative guy and very talented.
Yep, very.
Yeah.
And a good human being.
I
Man, what
met
a great
him
guy.
in Huntsville, Alabama, at the Jet Star Club, and
He was, Earl was working down there,
he was
in
an
that
artist, yeah,
steel mill.
and playing at night.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the Wagon Wheel,
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow. Golly.
And Scotty Turner met us there. That's where I first met Scotty. And he and Nelson and I were at the Jet Star Club to hear a band, the Mitchell Brothers,
Mhm.
Price Mitchell,
Mhm.
that we later cut a record on.
Yeah, you and Nelson cut that.
That's
Yeah.
that's correct.
Price Mitchell.
Yeah, that was the
I
first
remember that.
record we made.
Yep. I remember y'all doing that. That's before I really knew you. I was
Yeah.
down in Muscle Shoals that
And
time.
we did it at on 19th Avenue. Scotty Moore was the engineer on
Yeah.
that record.
Wow.
Yeah. But Nelly he was a dear friend, and he was your partner, and I know he was your friend.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I miss him.
Oh, yeah. I got him, he was dying with cancer, and I got him to sign a power of attorney over to me to sell Master Mix. And my other partner did the same thing, and I sold it. Me and Hank sold it. Hank was a fourth partner by then. And I gave ML Nelson's part of it and shipped the other part to my other partner.
Wow.
Well, they gave me power of attorney, and we've been partners for years. And if we made $100, we split it 4 ways. We made $100,000 a year out of that place for the first 10 years.
I miss those days. Golly.
Yeah, they were great days.
Yep.
Music was great too.
Yeah, it was.
I think music it was a little better back then.
Yes.
In that it was more creatively done and recorded. We had all those characters that we're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
That knew so much about it, you know.
Sure. Well, that's the whole point. I mean, you know, to me, it's like, you know, I mean this in the kindest terms I can say it. You're a character. You're a character. Characters make art and cool things happen. And when it becomes a corporate thing, you know, it's not the same thing
Not
anymore.
the same. No, it's not.
And that's kind of what's
Well,
missing to me today.
I remember the first song we mastered But we did the album on Taylor Swift, the Red album.
Yeah.
I'd love to own her. And Toby owned.
Yeah.
He owned 10% of Machine.
Yeah, I knew that.
Big Machine.
I didn't know how much I knew he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Well,
man.
they did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they did fine.
Yep. Absolutely. Toby was a character. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's, you know, gotta have.
Toby
characters.
was an oil field hand.
Yep. I knew that too. Yeah.
He knowed what standing on a stabbing board in a snowstorm and pipe. He knowed that.
Yeah, I knew he had done that. You know.
His dad run Cantwell casing crews, and he worked for his dad.
Oh boy. Wow. I didn't know that, but I knew he'd worked in the oil fields. Yeah. That's-
H.K. Covell was
Yep.
his dad, and he was a good guy.
Yeah.
He was a patriot.
Yeah.
And
Well, we were patriots.
yes, all of us. But Toby took it all to a different level.
Amen.
And
Well, he
here
wrote
again,
about it.
because of what was going on at that time, you know, he was so aware and knew what to do.
Mm-hmm.
and how
Toby
to do
called me and wanted 2 songs that I done. I wrote an oil field song years ago, and he wanted that. And then I wrote a song. Whitey Schaefer told me, if you remember all you wrote, you ain't writing enough.
Boy, I've never heard that, but I think that's right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Whitey
you
told
need
me
to
that.
write some more, Curly.
Yeah, man.
South of the border, down in old Monterey, it's a Mexican legend, they still talk about it today. On the rain, cannot be found. It all started the day that El Mongo rode into ground. El Mongo, El Mongo, El Mongo, El Mongo. He rides through the mesas in search of cervezas. El Mongo. Maria was brave. She said, I can take. But they heard her say with a shiver, there was fear in her eyes when she seen the size of the dongo that Mongo could give her.
That's great. That's fun.
Toby wanted that.
El Mongo. I love that. That's funny. Oh, my
El
God.
Mongo.
That's great. That's funny.
That is so good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, I was down there with another songwriter in Mexico. We was Mike Huffman.
Mhm.
You know Mike
I do.
Huffman? Well, everybody called him Mongo.
I didn't know him that well. I didn't call him that. Yeah.
Well, he walked like an ape.
Yeah. That's funny.
Big and slow, and I said, down here in Mexico, you're El Mongo.
That's funny. Did he write Keeper of the Stars? I hate to interrupt. Did he write that?
No,
I thought he did.
He wrote that Conway Twitty, big hit, Conway Twitty.
Not tight fitting jeans.
Huh?
Not tight fitting jeans.
Yeah,
Okay,
he wrote-
that's it. That's it. That's
Yeah,
right. I remember
he
that.
wrote that, and he wrote Elvira. He wrote George Strait. That
Carrying Your Love With Me, was that one?
no,
I
it
remember.
was about a girl in Louisiana.
Adelaida.
Adelaida.
Yep.
Adelaida.
He wrote. You
The
know,
kid, a little maiden queen.
yep. He wrote that with
Mike and Woody.
Mike and Woody. Yep. Cooter Brown guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah,
that thing away.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh my God, that's funny stuff. Yeah, that's cool. You know,
See,
interesting.
that was a good time too.
Yeah, man, it was all a good time. You know, I had a writer say I hadn't seen for a while back, and you know, I said, "Are you still writing?" He said, "No, I don't have a reason to. I don't, you know, nobody's paying me anymore." And I went, "God, everybody I ever knew that wrote songs did it because they loved it."
Hey, I called Whitey 2 or 3 years before he died. I called him up. I said, "How you doing, white man?" And he said, "Oh, I'm doing all right." I said, "You writing anything?" And he said, "Why?"
Yeah, I get it.
Why?
I get it.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why you gonna write anything?
God, that's so
Why would
sad.
I write a song? That's why I wrote El Mongo. I write for me.
That's my whole point. Yep.
And
Yep.
I write for me and him,
Yep. Yep.
the record man.
Yep. You know what? As you say that, I told this story a while back, but I remember the last day Harold was in the music mill, the very last day. He had sold the building, he was getting all his stuff out, and we were going to have lunch. So I went over to the music mill, and you remember in Harold's office up here, he had that big box full of tapes, and his desk was covered up to here, you know. And so he met me at the door and said, "Come on upstairs for a second before we go." He was the only one there. Nobody else was in the building. And so we walked upstairs, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Let me play you a song I just listened to." He wasn't producing anybody. He wasn't running a record label. He was leaving the music mill, and he was listening to a song. I want to play you a song.
Oh, and it was that kid from Dallas, corrugated cardboard.
Oh my God! I forgot
corrugated-
that corrugated boxes.
Yeah.
Corrugated
Who was
box.
that? I want to find that song.
That was David
I want a copy of that song.
Sawyer.
That song killed me.
He was from Indianapolis.
Corrugated boxes.
Yeah.
I forgot that song. I was thinking about that song a while back.
I used that line in I hitchhiked into Nashville from somewhere Louisiana with a guitar and a shirt pocket full of country songs.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And this guy goes in there, and the first night he sleeps on a cardboard, corrugated cardboard box in a dumpster out behind BMI in a corrugated bed that was already made.
Oh, what a good line. Wow. That's cool. Wow.
Yeah.
In a bed that was already made.
That guy wrote a lot of good songs.
Oh yeah.
He never was fortunate enough to get some cuts, but I always thought that would have been a great Willie Nelson song.
I'm
You
with
played me that song.
Corrugated
Oh,
box.
Yeah,
man.
you played me that.
Isn't that a good song?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Whole life was corrugated boxes.
Yeah, make them all day long.
Wow.
That's how I make a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what a song.
But he wrote some.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he when he left, he quit and left, and the ladies that rang up his sale at Walmart missed him, and the people where he worked gave him the Timex watch and sent him on his way. Corrugated boxes.
Yep.
I made them all day long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
So good.
Yeah, man.
that makes me cry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Man, that kills me. That song always killed me.
Yeah.
I need to hear that song again.
Yeah, I
Wow.
have it.
I want to hear it.
It's been a long time since I heard a song that made me cry.
I can't believe you brought that up. Oh my God. You know what? The other one you brought the other day, I hadn't thought about forever, was one of my favorites, was that Dan Seals record. You said that Hank Williams called you about.
Yeah.
So you got to come hear this. It wasn't his biggest hit, but that was one of my favorite records ever. I love that song.
Yeah.
Addicted. Oh my God.
Hank told me that
What a record.
he
too.
mastered it.
Yeah.
Attracted to pain.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Addicted is what I thought it was.
Addicted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
pain.
Addicted, yeah. Man.
That was
that killed
Dan
me.
Seals?
Dan Seals, yeah.
Dan Seals.
Cheryl Wheeler song, I think that's right.
He-
And that record was one of the best sounding records on the radio at the time. Kyle Lenning made that record. It was so good. Oh,
Kyle's good.
He done a good with Randy Travis.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll say. Man.
And with Dan Seals.
Yep.
The last record I heard Dan sing was with
Marie Osmond.
Marie Osmond.
Meet Me in Montana.
Meet Me in Montana.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
Boy,
it was.
that was a good record.
Yes, it was. Yeah, man, that was a really good one. You know, I wish I was sitting around like this today going, man, have you heard this record I just heard?
I know.
I don't do that very much anymore.
Yeah,
as
I
much.
missed that part of it.
Yeah. Let me play you a
See,
song.
wait
Have you
till
heard
you hear
this?
this.
Yeah.
Listen to this. I used to play Russ things that I thought might be good enough to
Yeah.
pursue.
Well, it's like Tommy down in Florida. He's your
Jackson.
financial.
Jackson,
Yeah, Tommy Jackson.
Yeah.
He's playing the songs going down the road, and me and Harold was in the back, and he was playing the songs that from his publishing company.
Yes.
I said, play that first one again.
Yeah.
I listened to the whole tape, and I
Do you
said,
remember that song?
Yes,
I don't go there anymore.
I don't go there
Wow.
anymore.
You mentioned that to me. I haven't heard that.
It's really good.
I need to do
Yes,
that, yeah.
his brother wrote it, co-wrote it.
Yeah. He's a
Yes.
talented guy. His brother, yeah.
Him and a guy from Nashville.
Wow.
It's about I don't go by the house anymore because somebody else is mowing the grass.
It's part of the past.
Somebody
yeah,
else
yeah.
is.
Get it.
But he said it differently.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like Toby, but it's about Toby wrote a song that man.
Who's that man?
Who's that man mowing my grass and
Yeah.
taking
Right.
care of my kids?
That's my house. That's my
Yeah.
dog
Yep.
in my backyard.
Yep.
That ain't my truck.
That
Yeah.
ain't my truck.
There's another one,
Same
yeah.
thing.
Yep. That's cool, man.
So did you live in Nashville during that time, or did you always live here?
No, I lived there part time, and I owned this place ever since I went down there. I owned this place for 55 years.
Wow.
I bought 2 oil wells on this place in 1968.
Wow.
And then I bought the farm in 73.
Wow.
And I put that lake in 74.
Wow. Man, I wish everybody on this camera could see this place. It's beautiful where we're
It
sitting
is
today.
beautiful.
Really beautiful, yeah.
On the Cimarron
On
River.
the Cimarron River.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's cool, man. Well,
I
And
wrote
what
a
did you do in the oil?
dozen songs about the Cimarron.
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah.
What did you do in the oil business? Did you just own oil wells?
No, I drilled them.
Oh, you're a driller.
Drilled them and owned them.
Yeah.
Now, I just got interests that I used to have.
Check the mailbox.
Yeah, we discovered 15 million barrels of oil.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I made Ronnie Gant. You know Ronnie Gant?
Yes.
I made him $2 million.
Wow.
I got him in the deal. He bought 2%. It's when the stock market went. He had a bunch of stock, and then
07.
yeah, '07, he sold all that stock and helped me produce Whitey Schaefer. I did 2 albums on Whitey, and I did it for posterity's sake because Whitey could outsing George Strait.
Oh, yeah.
He could sing better than George Strait. And I did 2 albums, and Ronnie Gant helped me. And I told him I'd give him 10%. Well, I sold that stuff to Jerry Bradley over at Opryland. I took Ronnie Gant a check for his part of that deal. He said, "That's the first time anybody's ever paid me what they said."
Oh, wow.
So he invested in an oil well. We ended up getting a field, and it was 2 years. They kept putting money in the wells we were drilling. We drilled 29 wells on them leases, and we had 15,500 acres. And we sold it for $165 million.
We don't have those numbers in the music business.
And Ronnie owned 2% of that.
Wow.
He got 2 point.
Way to go, Ronnie. Way to go. That's cool.
And then he died. I don't know whether his wife, I talked to her once in a while.
I loved Ronnie Gant.
Yeah, Ronnie was a good guy. Yeah.
It's a little better than a number
And
one
his
song.
brother was a great guy. Too.
Don, I knew way better. I loved
Yeah,
Don Gant.
I love Don Gant.
Yeah, they both sang with Pee Wee. They both sang
That's right.
Bread and Butter
That's right.
over at Opryland.
I didn't know that.
When Acuff Rose then,
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Yeah.
they,
Don he sang a backup on a lot of records.
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I don't know. I think I told that story, but Don Gant, I'd known him for a couple of years, and I found out that he was half of a band called Neon Philharmonic that I bought the record in 1969, knocked the Beatles out of #1 with a song called Morning Girl. It was called Neon Philharmonic. I had no idea that was Don Gant. It sounded like a British band. He said, we did that on purpose. Ronnie Gant engineered the record.
Yeah.
Had the Nashville Symphony on it, and they cut it at the Acuff Rose building on a 4-track.
yeah.
Big, huge record. I knew him for 2 years. He never told me that. And I said, you were in, yeah, it was a band I was in. We did it, yeah. And I said, I thought you guys were British. And he goes, we did that on purpose, you big dummy. Of course, that's how smart I am. I mean, I wore that record out, man. Don Gant, Ronnie engineered it, Wow, that's crazy.
Ronnie was a good guy.
Yes, sir.
He was my friend.
Yep,
Yeah.
he was a good guy. Really good guy. Really, really good guy. Oh, well. They're starting to dwindle. Anyway, what do y'all think?
Well, it's a new generation now.
Yep.
So
I just hope they have as much fun as we have. I don't know if they do or not.
I tell my son, he loves music. And he's in his 50s now, but
Talented musicians. By the way, played on more hit demos than you can imagine. Go ahead.
that we were in the business in what I call its heyday.
Yeah.
That won't ever be that good again.
No. And, well, the thing of it is, and I've thought about it, analog, if you was Porter Wagner, you better be able to sing on key.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have Pro Tools and they didn't have this to tune you up or
And you didn't have time to re-sing it.
no.
Yeah.
And
Cost too much money.
Yeah.
Singing.
he cut Satisfied Mind in one cut.
Yeah.
At the end of a 3-hour session, they had 15 minutes left. Let's do this song. Well, what is it? Satisfied Mind.
Wow.
And
Great
now,
record. Great
Yep.
record.
Yep.
yeah, but he cut it
Yep.
one take,
Yep.
and it was, they didn't master it back then.
Wow. Wow. By the way, that's a good omen. That's a barred owl we're hearing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Is
that.
that a good omen?
Yeah, it's a good omen. Yeah.
All right.
It really is.
I want to personally thank you guys and Curly, my friend Curly, and I look forward to seeing you on the podcast.
Me too, man. Thank you so much. This has been so great. Thanks for hosting us here today. That's cool.
Well, no problem. I enjoy company.
Anything you want to tell Harold?
Before we
Well, I love him.
I love you too.
I love him like a brother that I never had. My brother died when he was little. And this is the only brother I got.
Oh my goodness.
Larry Henley and Larry Mack and Whitey Schaefer was my brothers, but they're all gone. This is the only brother I got left.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Behind the Shed. Special thanks to our guests today, Russ Zavinson, Harold Shedd, Wade Smith, and Curly Corwin. Today's podcast was filmed at Curly's cabin on the Cimarron River in Oklahoma. Behind the Shed podcast was created by Wade Smith, produced by Russ Zavinson and Wade Smith, and recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. Camera, audio, video, and editing by Denise Zavinson and Russ Zavinson. Music written and composed by Russ Zavinson. You can contact the show via email at behindtheshed@gmail.com. You can visit our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Behind the Shed. If you would like to support the show in any way, please visit our Patreon page at Behind the Shed. For sponsorship opportunities, contact us at behindtheshed@gmail.com. Tune in next week as we go Behind the Shed. We hope you're enjoying the show. This episode is sponsored by PopChevy.com, Paintsville Tourism, Wild Bill Fireworks, the Kent Rose Foundation.